GLM 4.5, the rise of an AI powerhouse. In the fast-evolving world of artificial intelligence, innovation doesn't wait. And every now and then, a new model emerges that doesn't just challenge the status quo, it reshapes it. Today, we're diving deep into one such model, GLM 4.5, a cutting-edge large language model developed by Zhipu AI, also known as Z.AI. But this isn't just another chatbot. GLM 4.5 is more than a conversational assistant. It's a full-scale reasoning engine, built from the ground up to act as an autonomous agent, capable of thinking, planning, executing, and adapting. What sets this model apart? Let's start with its remarkable balance. Performance, efficiency, reasoning, and accessibility, these aren't just buzzwords. They're core pillars of how this model was built. And despite its high-tier capabilities, GLM 4.5 comes at an incredibly low. To give you an idea, just 11 cents per million input tokens and 28 cents for output. In the LLM world, that's basically unheard of for a model operating at this level of sophistication. So if you're into AI agents, reasoning systems, or real-world coding tools, what you're about to learn might just shift your perspective. The foundation, 355 billion parameters, but smarter. At its core, GLM 4.5 is a 355 billion parameter model. A colossal foundation by any standard. But here's where it gets clever. Instead of using all 355 billion parameters at once, the model uses a mixture of experts, MoE architecture. That means, for any single prompt, only 32 billion parameters are actually active. What does that mean in practice? It means this model punches far above its weight, offering the power of a megamodel with a much lighter resource load. That's great news for developers and researchers who don't have access to supercomputers. It keeps inference costs low, reduces latency, and makes the model much more efficient to use. Enter GLM 4.5 Air, performance for the people. Zhipu didn't stop there. For users working on consumer-grade GPUs, they released a lighter version, GLM 4.5 Air. With 106 billion total parameters and just 12 billion active per prompt, this variant is built to run on hardware with 32 to 64 GB of VRAM, meaning many developers can now run powerful LLMs locally, even at home. But don't let the smaller size fool you. GLM 4.5 Air still retains the core capabilities of its larger sibling, especially when it comes to reasoning, planning, and autonomous task execution. Designed for agents, not just conversation. Most large language models today are optimized to be chatbots, but GLM 4.5 is something else entirely. It's designed to function as a full-fledged thinking system, the kind of tool that doesn't just answer questions but actually understands context, plans steps, executes tasks, and even calls external tools or APIs. The model supports two main modes. Thinking mode, ideal for multi-step reasoning, coding, and complex decision-making. Fast response mode, a lower latency option when you just need quick, simpler answers. This kind of dual-mode design brings real flexibility. Whether you're building a research assistant, a code agent, or a customer service bot, GLM 4.5 adapts to your speed like never before. Now let's talk speed. Thanks to speculative decoding and a multi-token prediction layer, GLM 4.5 is shockingly fast. On Zhipu's high-speed API, it can generate more than 100 tokens per second, and in optimized conditions, that jumps to 200 tokens per second. For context, that's significantly faster than even some of the most popular models in the industry. Even more impressive, GLM 4.5 supports a context window of 128,000 tokens for input and 96,000 for output. You could feed it entire books, source code repositories, or long-form research papers, and it processes them effortlessly. That's beyond what GPT-4 or Claude 2 currently offer, and it opens up powerful new use cases, especially for enterprise, education, and research fields. Massive training, smarter learning. The model's intelligence didn't come out of thin air. It was trained on a massive 15 trillion tokens of general-purpose data, followed by 7 to 8 trillion more focused specifically on reasoning, programming, and autonomous tasks. But even that wasn't enough. Zhipu built a custom reinforcement learning framework called SLIME. Yes, you heard that right, to train the model across long-horizon tasks, like simulations, decision chains, and delayed feedback environments. Slime uses a hybrid system that separates data generation from training, allowing the team to scale up without bottlenecks. And it supports asynchronous rollouts, meaning the model can learn slowly, step by step, just like a human might when practicing a skill. Even better, they optimize training using FP8 mixed precision formats, which help the GPUs stay fully loaded even during complex task simulations. The result: an AI that can plan, reason, and adapt far more effectively than most current generations. Under the hood, smarter architecture, real-world muscle. Let's dig a little deeper. What makes GLM 4.5 not only fast and efficient, but exceptionally capable across multiple domains, especially reasoning and coding? It comes down to how the model was built at the architectural level. While many large models try to improve by simply scaling wider, increasing hidden dimensions, adding more parameters, and spreading out, Zhipu, instead of going wider, they went deeper. Deeper models, smarter models. GLM 4.5 reduces the number of rooted experts and hidden dimensions, but increases the number of layers in the network. This deeper structure allows the model to capture more complex relationships and hierarchical reasoning paths, especially when solving logic-heavy tasks. To further enhance performance, Zhipu implemented a number of state-of-the-art techniques. Grouped query attention, GQA, optimizes memory and computation while maintaining attention span over long contexts. Partial rotary positional embeddings, ROP, allows better encoding of word positions in large token sequences. 96 attention heads. For a hidden size of 5120, this is a serious amount of parallel processing. And it's a big reason why GLM 4.5 excels at complex understanding tasks. And then there's one particularly smart trick: multi-token prediction layers. These enable speculative decoding, a method that lets the model predict multiple tokens ahead, improving inference speed without compromising accuracy. In other words, it doesn't just think fast, benchmark beast outperforming global giants. So how does it actually perform? Let's talk numbers. GLM 4.5 isn't just competitive. In many cases, it's leading the pack. Across 12 public benchmark suites, spanning tasks like reasoning, math, general knowledge, coding, and autonomous agent behavior, GLM 4.5 ranked third globally. Only OpenAI's GPT-4 and xAI's Grok 4. That puts it ahead of Claude 4 Opus, DeepSeek R1, Google Gemini 2.5 Flash, and even Qwen 3 Coder, a specialized code model. Real-world results, not just lab scores. Let's get specific. On the AIM-24 reasoning benchmark, designed to test long-range thought, logic, and problem-solving, GLM 4.5 scored a stunning 91%. On Math 500, a dataset filled with high school to university-level math problems, 98.2% accuracy. These aren't cherry-picked scores. These are public open benchmarks. Anyone can verify them. For coding, the model scored 64.2% on SWE Bench, software engineering tasks, verified. 37.5% on Terminal Bench, an evaluation focused on real-world programming workflows in command-line environments. For reference, Claude 4 Opus, OpenAI's biggest Claude competitor, scored lower on multiple tests. Agent power, tools, tasks, APIs. But what really sets GLM 4.5 apart from typical chatbots or LLMs is its agentic behavior. Zhipu ran a series of 52 hands-on evaluations with actual agent tasks. Everything from calling APIs, navigating interfaces, writing and executing code, to planning multi-step workflows. GLM 4.5 achieved a 53.9% win rate over Kimi K2, another top-tier model, and an 80.8% success rate against Qwen 3 Coder. Its tool calling success rate, an incredible 90.6%, 6% higher than Claude 4, Sonnet, and DeepSeek R1. In plain terms, this model can not only think but act, reliably, autonomously, and without constant human correction. Master of the web, real-time research agent. Zhipu also put GLM 4.5 to the test on Browse Bench, a benchmark that evaluates how well a model can act like a real-world research assistant. That means performing live searches, summarizing data, and synthesizing reliable answers from the web. GLM 4.5 scored 26.4% accuracy on this test, ahead of Claude 4 Opus, and just a few points shy of the top-performing model globally, OpenAI's O4 Mini High. This kind of capability opens doors to building AI-powered research assistants, news aggregators, and even customized fact-checkers. And with its high-speed context window, you can feed it massive PDFs, entire websites, or lengthy technical documentation, and it'll read, interpret, and respond with human-like insight. An unbeatable price point. Now comes the part that really flips the industry standard on its head: pricing. Zhipu is offering API access to GLM 4.5 at just 0.8 Chinese yuan per million input tokens. 2 yuan for output tokens. Compare that to Claude's 100K token AP. Yuan per million. DeepSeek R1, higher than Zhipu. That's a total of just 2.8 yuan per million tokens, or about 39 cents US. GPT-4, astronomically higher, especially at large contexts. GLM 4.5 doesn't just compete, it undercuts. Significantly, this low price is a strategic move. By offering a low barrier to entry, Zhipu is democratizing high-level AI for startups, developers, educators, and small companies. The exact people who are often priced out of using tools like GPT-4. Open source, global vision, and the future of AI. So far, we've looked at GLM 4.5's architecture, performance, reasoning ability, speed, and its stunningly low price point. But the story doesn't end with specs and benchmarks. What truly sets GLM 4.5 apart in the current AI arms race is accessibility, not just in terms of cost, but in its open-source licensing and development. Unlike GPT-4, Claude, or Gemini, which are entirely closed systems, GLM 4.5 is fully open-source under the MIT license. That means you can download the model weights, run it locally on your own hardware, fine-tune it for custom tasks, deploy it on-premises or in the cloud, integrate it into proprietary products, even commercial ones. No usage caps, no locked-in platform. No surprise pricing, total freedom. Open-source tools ready to use Zhipu made sure the release wasn't just a technical paper and a dump of weights. They also launched plug-and-play APIs compatible with OpenAI's existing API structure integration hooks for frameworks like Claude Code, LangChain, and other popular agents, ready to deploy containers via Model Scope and Hugging Face. Sample projects, documentation, and starter kits. That means for developers and companies already using tools like OpenAI, switching over requires almost no rework. You can test GLM 4.5 in your pipeline today without live demonstrations. It's not just theory to back up its claims. Zhipu didn't just talk, they showed. In a series of live demos, GLM 4.5 took on real-world challenges that required more than just basic Q&A. A research assistant use case, where the model received a topic, performed real-time web searches, analyzed results, compiled findings, and even linked to sources, all autonomously. In another test, the model built and played a Flappy Bird-style game from scratch, including writing the JavaScript code, logic, physics, and animation. And then there's the PowerPoint demo. GLM 4.5 generated an entire slide deck in HTML format based on a single prompt. It selected layout, added titles, chose appropriate images, and wrote the content. It wasn't just coherent, it was polished. One of the most mind-blowing use cases. A full-stack web application built and deployed conversationally. A user described what they wanted, and step by step, the AI generated the front-end, back-end, database schema, and deployment scripts. The final result was a functional website with clean UI, working API endpoints, and actual usability. No templates, no copy-paste, no human code review needed. China's AI movement, the rise of open power. Now let's zoom out. Zhipu AI's move to release GLM 4.5 as open source isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a broader strategic shift inside China's AI ecosystem. Dubbed the AI Six Tigers by Chinese media, a group of fast-moving startups, including Moonshot AI, Step AI, Beichuan, and Zhipu, are aggressively competing by pushing out high-performance open models. While US-based AI giants have largely pivoted to closed, expensive APIs and proprietary platforms, China is leaning in the opposite direction, building massive-scale models and releasing them freely. Just a few weeks before GLM 4.5 dropped, Moonshot unveiled their Kim K2, a trillion-parameter model. And with GLM 4.5 now open, Zhipu has claimed the crown of largest open-access model to date at 355 billion parameters. But this isn't just about bragging rights. The strategic bet, network effects over secrecy. Zhipu's approach is clear. If they can get enough developers, researchers, and startups building on their stack, then GLM 4.5 becomes a de facto standard. That's the bet. More adoption, more tools, more integrations. More users, more momentum. It's a strategy similar to what made Linux, TensorFlow, and Hugging Face transformers dominant in their respective fields. It's a long game, but Zhipu has the backing to play it. Massive funding, big vision. Zhipu AI isn't a scrappy startup working out of a garage. They've secured $1.5 billion USD in funding, including investments from Alibaba, Tencent, and multiple Chinese provincial governments. Recent strategic stakes include a 1 billion yuan tilde $140 million USD investment from Shanghai's Puong VC, backing from city authorities in Honghu, Chengdu, and Zhuhai, and a planned IPO, most likely in Hong Kong. They're not slowing down. In fact, they're doubling down on foundation model R&D with plans to raise another $300 million for further compute. And their roadmap, it's already pointing toward the future, GLM-5 and beyond, toward multimodal AI. Zhipu has confirmed that GLM-5 is in development, a new generation model expected to push further into multimodal capability, text plus vision plus audio plus structured data, real-time agent orchestration, cross-language fluency, longer memory and planning chains. In fact, they've already released GLM 4.1V, an early vision language model, open source just like 4.5. And their goal is clear. They're building for the full-stack AI future, not just assistants or coders, but autonomous, multimodal digital minds. The bottom line, GLM 4.5 isn't just another entry in the AI race. It's a model that matches, and in some cases beats, the best in the world. A model that's faster, cheaper, more open, and more powerful than many of its Western counterparts. And a model that you can download, use, customize, and own right now. As the AI landscape continues to evolve, the lines between open and closed systems will become more visible and more important. Zhipu is placing its chips on openness, scale, and developer empowerment. And with the numbers it's posting, the community it's building, and the vision it's pursuing, they just might be right. So the question we're left with is this: when open-source models perform this well, what happens to the closed ones? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your eye on what's next, because in AI, the future always arrives faster than